The reason I stopped you is you're 71 miles an hour as you were passing that white pickup truck on Gansel in a posted 50. So you're 21 miles an hour over the speed limit, and then you were just moving around to pass this car so you could continue to speed here.
Sorry, I was listening and I was...
You know what it is? It's your big Altima Energy.
This is the first video that we talk about big Altima Energy. I didn't know what this was. Sam didn't know what this was before this. Traffic unit was working a collision down in kind of the south of Florence in a little town called Randolph, just south of Coolidge. And the suspect vehicle was an Altima. And in the comments for the sheriff's office Facebook page are all these comments about there being big Altima Energy. So then we really started looking at Altimas and realizing how many of our stops were actually Altimas. So this is the first time I mentioned it, but we had had this knowledge of the big Altima Energy for a little while, and we were just kind of watching to see, doing our own little research project about how many cars we stopped were Altimas, and this just ended up being a great example of it.
Yeah.
That's what it is. I get it. I get it. You want to drive fast in this car. This traffic stop came to a stop here at the Medical Plaza.
The location of this stop is in the Medical Plaza. It's on Interstate Gansel, on Gansel Road. Someone that works in this Medical Plaza is on the Find Frank page within that group. And I see pictures of me on traffic stops exactly like this in that group all the time. So I look through Find Frank and I see the pictures that people take, and there are a bunch of different pictures of me in that plaza. So I don't know who it is. I don't know if you're watching this, but come out and say hi after a traffic stop is done, because I know you take a lot of pictures through the window there.
Just north of Empire and south of Banner Ironwood on Gansel Road. We do a ton of traffic stops right here in this parking lot. I've arrested people for criminal speed, for DUI, for driving unsuspended, criminal speed, regular speed, all in this parking lot. And it just ends up being the first place out of the 50-mile-an-hour zone where it's really safe to stop. So we do a lot of traffic stops here. I'm sure the people that work in this Medical Plaza are probably tired of seeing me
all sorts of Fridays with Frank pictures and Find Frank pictures
on the road.
It was a TikTok going down the road. I was doing the navigation.
So you're watching TikTok while you're driving down the road. But it was on TikTok.
Yes, sir.
So did you just turn on TikTok between when you slammed on your brakes and stopped in the middle of Gansel Road, or were you watching it while you were driving?
I didn't know where to stop at, sir. No, I wasn't necessarily watching it. I put my hands on it and went over to I didn't know what to do.
So your phone just magically switched over to TikTok?
Yes,
at the time, I didn't have a TikTok page like I do now at frank.sloup.official. I had no idea. So I'm like, yeah, it's a TikTok reel. I didn't even know that was the wrong terminology at the time, because I was not on TikTok. I didn't want Beijing having all of the things that are on my phone. I've since decided that I don't care, and I'll let them have all of the pictures that they want. But I didn't. That's simply this video shows my ignorance about TikTok at the time. It wasn't even on my radar that we'd be doing any of this back then, like we're doing it now.
Okay. Hey, man. I hear new things every day, so that's a new one. Let me see your driver's license. So I'm Deputy Sloup. I work for the Pinal County Sheriff's Office Traffic Unit. The reason I stopped you is for a criminal amount of speed. Okay, so you're more than 30 miles an hour over the posted speed limit, and then you stopped literally in the middle of Gansel Road.
I didn't want to keep on continuing going.
You can go down. I actually wanted you to pull into the LDS Church parking lot there. It's not what
LDS
Frank says. Frank doesn't make the law. Arizona law says you have to pull parallel to the rightmost curb and remain stopped. What Arizona doesn't say is pull into the median. It's super easy. You turn your right turn signal on, and you legally change lanes to the right, because that's what I expect you to do. All right. Well, you are very deserving of a couple tickets, so you're going to get them, and I'm going to go write them, and I'll come back. Like, I don't think that's how phones work. I don't think you just, put your phone down, which you shouldn't be holding while you're driving, because we have a hands-free law here. So she's wrong from the get-go, along with traveling at 35 miles an hour above the posted speed limit. But yeah, like I don't feel like when you put your phone down, it just goes onto a TikTok reel. So we're going to address that with some tickets, along with the 35 over and the slamming on her brakes and coming to a stop in the middle of Gansel Road, where she could have just pulled into the LDS parking lot where 100 other traffic stops have occurred. You can't operate a vehicle while using a portable wireless communication device. Using it means for anything. For navigation, for TikTok, for selfies, for Snapchat, or whatever else you kids are doing these days. So all of that. So that's what we're doing here. You have a mandatory court date. So why do you have an identification card?
I got my license suspended.
Your license is suspended? So why are you driving without a seatbelt on at a criminal amount of speed in Santan Valley?
I did have my belt on.
And you pulled into the median, which I don't know why I'm standing here in the median, but... So you know the name of this road is Gansel Road, right? This isn't Interstate Gansel. Even if it was Interstate Gansel, posted as 65, you would still be doing a criminal amount of speed. That's how far above the speed limit you are.
Wow.
See all that dirt that's over there to the right? That's where we're supposed to be, over on the right curb. Not in the middle, where cars are passing us in the fast lane on both sides. This is a mandatory court appearance because both of these are criminal in nature. So as I'm traveling down the road, probably 95% of the time, this radar is in a mode that it's getting the speed of vehicles that are coming at me in the opposite direction. It's funny because people all the time are like, oh, I know your license plate. I'm like, it's not the license plate on this car that is going to give it away. It's when I'm already behind you and I've already illuminated my lights. The speed of vehicles coming at me is really what I'm looking for. So by the time they see me, it's already over. That decision's already been made. The reason I stopped you is the speed limit on this portion of Gansel is 45. You're doing 73. Ow! That's why you were so far ahead of all the other cars, and I can make that U-turn to come in. So you're at a criminal amount of speed, almost 30 miles an hour over the speed limit.
My radar works for, a half mile, 3/4 of a mile away in a straight line. So I had this truck coming at me and already had him locked in by the time we even got remotely close to each other. So people are like, oh, I know your car, and I slow down. By the time that guy realized it was me, I was already in the median and making a U-turn around to go get him. It's the distance that radar is accurate is amazing. And especially like that, where you just have one single vehicle coming at you and nothing else in sight. It's incredibly accurate.
Pretty quick. Everyone writes tickets on Gansel Road. I mean, Interstate Gansel it's a legit phenomenon. We dealt with several fatals here in the last year just on Gansel Road. So it's something as a member of the traffic unit and taking those fatals, having talked to those families and everything that goes around with that. We really try to decrease those excessive speeding violations by being out here a lot. So you're in our system from a really long time ago, and you haven't been in our system for a really long time. Which means you were going down a road and you went, no, I don't want to go that way.
Overwhelmingly, the majority of the time, I'm going to write that as a criminal ticket. Especially right there. It was right between like Post and Butte High School and the LDS Church. It's an area where high speeds are pretty frequent. But I contact this guy, and I could see he's got some tattoos that he's having removed. Had some tattoos on his neck that he was having removed. And he's in a really nice truck. I go back, I run him, and just like I said in the video, we had a pretty extensive history from him, and then all of a sudden it stopped. And then he hadn't had any contacts with the sheriff's office for many, many years, like double-digit years. So what we found out was that he just decided he was going down the wrong path and changed it. And I thought it was so admirable that he had taken charge of his own life. And that level of accountability to say, hey, I don't want my life to be going down this bad path. That I just gave him a regular civil cite. We still want to hold him accountable, but I specifically didn't write him criminal because of that.
And now you're living life right. I want to tell you I appreciate that.
Brand new truck.
Because that's cool. Like, that's cool. That's cool to be like, I don't think I want this to be my life. I think I want a life where I drive a 2023 Chevy, which is awesome, by the way. And that's cool. In understanding and appreciation of you changing a lifestyle, we did not write you a criminal cite. So we keep
What a
all that
break.
criminal stuff away from you. Now, you're doing 73 into 45, so you're still setting a land speed record. But I have some discretion. The sheriff really appreciates it when I use it, so I try to do it as much as I can. So we just wrote this for the civil. It is unequivocally the right decision to make right now, and I like working down here because he gives me that discretion, and I try to use it when I can. So, all right, no problem. Listen, slow down, drive safe. Thanks.